try that again. Good morning, all my yarny friends. Maybe I need some more coffee. All right, take 3. Good morning, my yarny friends. I'm Sara Sach, and welcome back to my crochet channel. Today is Tuesday, so that means we're doing a live video podcast. We call that Coffee and Crochet with Sara. Now, don't worry if you're not a coffee drinker. I'm sorry that you're not. But I'm a coffee drinker. But you don't have to drink coffee to watch and be with us, okay? Whether you're watching live or later, you can drink whatever that you want to. But what we do like to do is clink in. And that just means tell me what you're drinking. And sometimes you can even tell me where you're from. Never tell me your address, though. I just like to hear the states and the countries and things like that because it makes me really happy to see that there are crocheters not just all over America, but all over the world. Clinkety, clink, clink, clink. I have to tell you, I am all the way, almost halfway through my second cup of coffee. A friend of mine posted, her name is Linda Caffer. You might have seen her on here from time to time. She does watch our video occasionally. And she posted this morning and she said, I've created a new word. It's called crumpy. C-R-U-M-P-Y. It means I'm grumpy until I've had my coffee. I wanted to say, so back off. I had a really rough couple of days and nights. I've been struggling not only with my arthritis in my knee, but lately I've had trouble with my sciatic nerve. I always say it wrong, so if I said it wrong, just forgive me. But I've been having just a heck of a time with my hip. And I can't like stand right up real fast because it shoots electricity, and it really isn't, but that's what it feels like all the way down to my toes. And my toes just go bing. It's really funny when it happens, but it hurts really bad. And so I can't just pop right up and stand up real quick. So luckily I don't have to do that today in our video, right? So anyway, it's almost iced coffee time, right? Do you all drink iced coffee? There was only one place that I ever enjoyed iced coffee. It was when we lived in Colorado. There was a coffee house called Fika Coffee House. There in Parker, Colorado. If you're ever in Parker, Colorado, go to the Fika Coffee House. There's one in downtown Parker, and then there's another one up in one of the neighborhoods. But our crochet group used to go there, and their coffee was so smooth and so good that I enjoyed their iced coffee. But I'm not a fan of some of the other places. I'm not going to say names because I don't want to be negative, but I'm not a fan of iced coffee a real whole lot. A lot of times I'll make it a little extra strong, and then I'll make my own iced coffee with my own creamer. So anywho, I'm about ready for some of that. We've had such beautiful weather, but we've had so much wind. And I went out this morning. I wanted to do a little video because I have decided that I'm going to do a video I'm going to do several videos for the my garden 2024, because last year I had 2 boxes. This year I have 4 of my garden boxes or raised beds, and I thought I'd take you all along on the journey to watch it grow, because I had a lot of people respond that they would really like that. They're going to be short. I think this one's might be 7 minutes. I'm not going to do them real long. You know, I might give you some tips along the way of some things that I do, but if you are interested in the way that I garden, I basically do container gardening, and that's why I went with raised beds here. But I also have videos from last year and then the years in the past where I did a lot of gardening in Colorado on my deck in pots. And I have there's patterns that go along with those. And I also have lots of different just tricks and things that I did. One thing that I forgot, I did not have a lot of bugs or pests in my garden on my decks. Now I had honeybees and wasps and things, and that's okay because they're pollinating and stuff. And occasionally I'd get like a little, you know, those hornworms, I think they're called, that get on your tomatoes. Occasionally I'd get those, and I would just get my little trowel and kind of get it off and throw it in the yard. You know, he can eat somewhere else, you know. But here I've got a lot of different pests and things that I'm dealing with that I've forgotten. I haven't had any issues this year, but I did last year. And so I've been looking up some natural things to use, and I'll be leaving in also in some of these videos. I'm going to give you some tips along the way, okay? It's just what I do to grow in my garden. And if you want to know what I grow, you can watch the video. Hopefully, I want there to be some breeze because I like to see the plants move a little bit, but I don't want them, you know, bent completely over in the wind, you know. So I'm gonna have to retake some of the video and stuff like that, and then hopefully I'll have it out by tomorrow, maybe tomorrow afternoon. If you're interested in watching it, it'll be right on my channel. I have a YouTube playlist. I think it's just called My Container Garden, and my Container Gardens or something like that. But you can find that on my YouTube channel there. If you just go look at the top where it says playlist, click that and you can look through my playlist and it'll come up. All right. Now I wanted to answer another question that I got last week. Remember the bag that we made with the Premier yarn that turned out so beautiful? Well, I got a lot of questions about where did I get this button? Okay. It's a really nice big wooden button. Well, what I do is sometimes I go into Goodwill and I look through shirts and tops and bags and things. And if I find buttons that I like and the item is inexpensive, I'll buy it and cut the buttons off. All right. Now, also another thing that I do is I look through the buttons that are on clearance, different places. And I found these all came in one bag. And I was going to show you. A whole bunch of different sizes, including these big ones that I really love. Okay, some of these are unfinished. Like this one does have a finish on it. This one doesn't. And you can just find these over in the wood making section. I didn't find them in the sewing section. I didn't find them in the yarn section. I found them in Hobby Lobby and also at Joann's in assorted bags. Okay, and they have all different sizes and different shades of wood. I love this color. Isn't that pretty? And they're all mixed up in a bag. And I don't know the price. I want to say like $4.99 or $5.99 for a really nice size bag. But they're over by where all the woodworking things are, because they're buttons that I guess are raw, and then you can stain them if you want to or not. Okay. Now these two big ones that I have that I used right here, that came on a card of 2. That I got at, you know, I did get these at Hobby Lobby. I was going to say Joann's, but I got these at Hobby Lobby, these big ones. And I got these big ones over in the sewing section, okay? But if you want a really good bargain, you can get really nice big wooden buttons, because I love wooden buttons and I'm always using them. And I'm always getting questions, where do you find your wooden buttons? Okay, so go look in the woodworking section where they have like all the little unfinished plaques and boxes and different things that you can paint and design and stain. They have bags of these and they're unfinished. And you I'm dropping them everywhere. You can get the inexpensive stain that already has like the lacquer in it in little small cans. And you can stain them if you want to. Or you can just put a clear coat over them. I do that sometimes. I'll get a big bag of the unfinished ones. I'll lay them out on newspaper in the grass. And then I'll spray them with a clear coat on one side. I'll leave them that way for a couple hours. I'll go out and flip them all over, spray the clear coat on the back of those, and leave them out there for another hour or so. A lot of times if it's really windy like today, I'll move them up onto the patio. But anyway, I love wooden buttons. I find them all over the place. One of my granddaughters, Callie, she loves to do Goodwill shopping with me. And we're always looking for bargains. I don't buy yarn a whole lot at Goodwill anymore. I just had a really bad experience. That doesn't mean that you will. I'm just saying I just don't do it anymore. I got a big bag of yarn, and it had some bed bugs in it. They were all dead. but it just totally freaked me out. And I thought, I'm just not going to do that anymore. But it was a good bargain, but I didn't know those were in there until I opened everything up. So anyway, that's up to you. You can find some good bargains at garage sales and, of course, thrift stores. But the thing that I was saying is a lot of times you can find bags of buttons at thrift stores as well. And then one time I found a canister because it had Thomas Kincaid on the top, and I love Thomas Kincaid paintings, The Painter of Light. And it was a canister, like metal, and I opened it up and it was just filled with a whole bunch of different kinds of like buttons. And they looked, a lot of them, like they were really, really old, and I bought it for the buttons. But I also love Thomas Kincaid, so I got a nice canister out of it also. So we do love to thrift store shop. Like I said, Callie, my granddaughter, who's almost 15, she is excellent at finding a bargain. Okay. And so we look at shirts and tops and even, frames and craft items that have buttons on them and look at them, see if they're worth buying. I even go and look at the purses for like purse handles and straps and belts that you can make into purse handles. There's a lot of neat things that you can repurpose at the thrift store. And I'm mentioning this because yesterday was Earth Day, and we need to be conscious of this beautiful earth that God gave us. And we need to take care of it. And we need to do our best to recycle, And that's all I'm going to say about that. But I try to be a recycler. We do have that in our trash pickup and stuff, and we work really hard to do that. And there's a lot of little things that you can do, like use both sides of your paper, before you toss it. And you can also, I do composting. I have a jar that I got that has a filter on it that I actually got at Aldi that I do all my composting in. Then I have what's called an egg. It's a great big like round egg. And you put your compost in there along with some water and some grass and a little bit of dirt, and you spin it. And every time you add to it, you just spin it. And then this year, when we went out to do our garden, I had a whole egg of that to mix in with my soil. And it was really nice soil. And so I'm hoping that I'm going to get, some good nutrients of that, because there's banana peels in there, and there's egg shells for calcium, banana for potassium, and lots of fruits and vegetables that were, cut off, and some that I let go bad in the fridge, which put them in the composter. Anyway, that's just my own thoughts on that. You don't have to compost if you don't want to, It can be really messy. And so I try really hard to make sure that everything's clean. I rinse everything off, because it can be really, like Kelly says, it can be really disgusting. But the thing is, you have to put the right things in it. You can't put any meat in there, any milk products, anything that came from an animal. It all has to be, the only thing you can put in there that came from an animal are egg shells, because it's great for calcium. Tomatoes need calcium. And then potassium is great because banana peels, because roses and a lot of plants need potassium. And so I'll be sharing a lot of that sort of stuff as we go along in some of the videos that I'm doing for gardening. All right, let's move away from that and start talking about crochet and yarn. Okay, now, one of the things I wanted to discuss, because I got a really weird email, and they said they don't understand why I have to do shout outs for other YouTube channels. And I said, well, I don't have to. I do it because I want to. And the reason that I do this is because I think it's very important to spread joy. And I get negative, comments from time to time. And I try to always leave them, my eyes are itching all of a sudden. I try to leave them with a positive, or what I would consider a joyful comment. Okay? And by saying that is, when I get a comment like this, it says, why do you do shout outs? I don't understand what the purpose is. The purpose of that isn't for us. It's for the crochet designer or crochet YouTuber. And what I mean by that is, YouTube can be a very scary place to be. It really can. There's a lot of people out there that just do negative just because they think it's funny. Okay. And there's a lot of people out there that don't agree with people even crocheting. They think art is silly. Well, we don't think that. We love it, you know. And so, and a lot of times we just get negative things because people don't understand why we do the things that we do and why we love yarn or whatever. Okay, so, and that's okay. I don't expect everyone to think like me. I don't, and I get that. But the thing is, there is a lot of YouTubers out there that love yarn and love crafts and love knitting and just want to spread joy just like I do. Okay, and so I decided, I was doing this a few years ago, and I sort of got away from it. And so what I'm trying to say, I wrote this down, just a second. I talk too much, even to myself, so my voice gets tired. Okay, so this was my answer. The reason that I do shout outs, and I'm getting ready to give you one when we're done with this little paragraph I wrote, is it brings me joy to bring joy to others. This is why I like to do the shout outs for other crocheters and yarn artists on YouTube. I believe we should be each other's biggest cheerleaders, not competition. I will be trying hard to do a shout out each week, someone I have watched and enjoyed their channel and think you all would enjoy. And that's what I believe. Yes, we're all trying to get views. We're all trying to get monetized, and we're all trying to earn some money. And the reason we want to earn money is because running a YouTube channel is not free. Even though it is free, you know, it doesn't cost us anything to do a YouTube channel. But think about this. I have to have photo editing programs. I have to have video editing programs. I have a broadcasting program. I also buy yarn, even though I do get some affiliate, like from Premier. I still have to buy yarns. I have to have all the things that I need, like I have 2 computer screens, 2 computers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. I have 1, 2, 3 cameras. I have a microphone, and I have 2 more speakers, and all the equipment that makes this stuff run. These things are not free. And even if they're doing it on their phone, you still have to pay for the use of their phone. And so all of these things are not free to us. Okay? And so if we can earn just a little bit from all these commercials that helps pay for those things, like I have to pay for a website. I have to pay for my email address. Things like that. I'm not complaining in the least. I'm just letting you know why it's so important to watch other people's YouTube channels, watch those commercials, leave them a positive comment. And even if you watched one, and maybe the one you watched, you really like, I don't really like that one, tell them thank you for doing a video anyway, okay? Because they're doing it because it brings them joy as well, okay? And I hope I'm explaining this well, you know, because, I mean, think about it. When we bought this house, we had to make sure we had a 4th bedroom so I could have a studio. You know, it's part of what we do, you know, and well, actually, I don't have to have a 4th bedroom, but I need a 4th bedroom because I have grandkids that stay with me all the time, you know. So anyway, I just want you all to understand the reason that I do it is because I want to bring joy to others, and it brings me joy to bring them joy. Because in this world, you can either be a grumpy, a crumpy, or you can be a joy giver. Okay? And so that's really what I want to do, and that's why I do that. Okay? Now, I do have a shout out I'm going to tell you about today. The shout out is for someone named Crystal. It's another Crystal. We do love Bag a Day Crystal. You can go talk to her too, because I love her videos. She's just so real and fun, isn't she? Well, today's Crystal is from the Chronicling Crocheting YouTube channel. And I really like her also. I love the way she sort of, you'll have to go and watch her because she has such a neat way of talking that it's just so therapeutic is the word I want to use. Because I was recommended her from our one from last week. The one that we did last week. I don't have my paper here. But anyway, you can go back and watch last week's video on the shout out that I did. And she sent me a message and thanked me and then told me about this lady. And I thought, I'm going to go check this one out. And I do want to thank you all also, because a lot of you have given me lots of good names of YouTube channels that you like, so I can go check them out and do a shout out each week. So I'm really happy about that. But anyway, this lady, her name is Crystal. Chronically Crocheting is her YouTube channel. And the way that she speaks, the way that she talks, like I was going to say, I was on my iPad, and sometimes I'll put them on and I'll be crocheting and listening to them. And all of a sudden, I'm like not crocheting, but I'm just pulled in and just listening like this. Because the way that she speaks is so therapeutic. And you know what's really, really important also to understand is that our craft can be therapeutic. It can give us a few minutes of peace and quiet. The world is so hectic around us. We have family and kids and jobs and school and, you know, everything going on around us. And if we can set aside just a few minutes just to set that aside, pick up our crochet. And I've said it over and over about our video that I do on Tuesdays. This is our time just to set the cares of the world aside. Yes, we all have bills. We all have pains. We all have family, work, you know, everything. People that annoy us from time to time. And we all get a little crumpy every now and then without our coffee. But it's kind of nice just to set all that stuff aside and just listen to somebody else and make sure when you go see her, tell her I sent you and tell her how much you love her videos. I'm telling you, it makes a YouTuber, it makes their day when you tell them how much that you love their videos, or that you enjoyed a specific video, or you liked what they did or what they said, you know. So anyway, that is our shout out today. Chronically Crocheting. It's all about, her name is Crystal. Okay. All right. I really encourage you just to put them on and listen. She just has such a neat speaking voice. Okay. Next on the agenda, something I want to talk to you about. I'm going to skip over. I'm going to click over. I do not skip. It would not be pretty. All righty. So what I have here is some yarn from Premier. And I want to tell you about this one first. We've all heard, of course, of Premier Basix. This is one of my go-to yarns now. I just love it. It is soft. It's a medium weight for worsted yarn, 7 ounces or 359 yards, 100% acrylic, tested and approved, machine wash, tumble dry. And the neat thing about this is Premier Yarn just came out with 16 more colors. Okay? They have 89 total colors now. They have the multicolored ones have 5 ounces, where the solids have 7. And they added 16 more colors. That's more shades of everything. And I ordered these in for something that I'm going to make. And I was going to order in a yellow one, and then I remembered that I had the Premier Just Yarn. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to compare these two, because I get this question all the time. This is Just Yarn. It's 100% acrylic, just like this. It has 875 yards, which is 14 ounces. Well, this is 7 ounces, so this is twice the amount of this, okay? And it is the same. They only have 22 colors of this one. 100% acrylic, medium weight number 4, just like the Basix. Medium wash, tumble dry. So what's the difference, right? Okay, so if you feel the yarn, you're going to see they're very similar in size. They're both medium weight number 4. But one of the things that I did notice is that the Premier Basix is just a little bit softer than the Just Yarn. And so what I would say is this is your value yarn. Kind of like what we would call maybe a Red Heart Super Saver, only this is quite a bit softer than I'm going to say the old Red Heart Super Saver, because I haven't bought any lately, and I know they're owned by Yarnspirations now, and they've done some changing to their yarn. Okay, but Premier Yarn, this Just Yarn, now years ago, I don't know if they still have it because I haven't bought any lately. They used to have Just Yarn by Premier at the Dollar Tree. It was $1 then. It's probably like $1.50 now. But anyway, 10 of those small skeins equal one of these big Just Yarn skeins of yarn. Okay? And this is a great value. Now, right now, this is $5.59 for one of these big skeins. They're normally $6.99, which is still a really good bargain. Okay? Now, the Premier Basix, my eye's itching again, sorry, is quite a bit softer. I mean, I just think it is a lot softer. It reminds me of the old Red Heart Soft. Okay? It doesn't have a sheen to it, but it is a little, if you look at it, like this is more of like a, what I would call a matte finish, where this has a little bit of a sheen to it. And I think that's because it's probably spun more in order to make it softer. I don't know, because I don't know the process exactly, but that's the way that I would think that it was done. Okay? The more you spin it, the softer that it's going to get. Okay? So the Premier Basic is $3.99 a skein, which is really a good bargain also. 7 ounces. It's super soft. And like I said, they have 16 new colors. And they have multis, where these are all solids. They have multicolors. And remember the other one that I did a few weeks ago? Oh, I'm working on it. It's in the other room. The pink one that had all the colors in it was just gorgeous. So they have, what I'm saying is they have the multicolors. You have to go, what I want you to do though is I want you to go over to click that link underneath my video where I have the Premier. It's my affiliate link. When you click it, I get credit for it. So please go and click it and look around. And look at, when you go online, the first thing you're going to see now is a thing of the 16 new colors. It's kind of spread across the top. I'm going to show it to you. See if I can pull it up on my iPad real quick. Of the new colors. There we go. Let's go back over here real quick. See the new colors. Whoops, that's Fable. We love Fable too. When you want to find yarn on here, that one is going to... There we go. Pull it up. Here's your Basics. $3.99. Okay, and look at all these colors. And then there's your variegated ones down here, your multis. But look at all those shades. I mean, if we can't find the shade of color that we need, and if you want to know what all the names are, you can click that link. And then they've got the new ones up top. I'm loving that gold. That's, it's called Sunny. I love that. I love that. That one's called Bright Orange. Merlot. Orchid. Oh, I love that one. I should order that one to go with what I've got going on here. But anyway, those are the 16 new colors. Okay? And for $3.99, that is a tremendous bargain. And so I know I just ordered some yarn, but I think I'm going to have to go online and get that bright yellow and that Merlot one. I haven't ordered, I mean, it's been a week or two. I'm always saying I'm not ashamed of the amount of yarn I ordered, but I just am totally in love with this basic yarn anyway. It's so soft. It's 7 ounces, $3.99. I mean, you can't beat that. And remember, if you order $75 worth, you get free shipping. And so what I try to do, I really try to just order once a month. And so what I try to do, how do the colors compare to what, Kelly? To Red Heart? I don't really know because I don't have both the looks of them. So, but I mean, 89 colors. How in the world can you not find a shade of color that you need, you know? But anyway, I'll see if I can clarify that question. But anyway, that is the yarn of the week, is the Premier Basic. It is, I'm telling you, it's so soft, and I'm so excited about it because, I mean, I keep saying that, 16 new colors, but there's a total of 89 colors. Plus they have those variegateds also. And I don't buy a lot of variegated, but I do love ombres. And I'm wondering, you know, because they have the ombre in the Just Yarn over here. I love those. And I'm wondering if maybe they'll end up coming up with the ombre with this because it's so much softer. You know, we asked for an ombre and they gave it to us. So, anywho. Oh, Just Yarn compared to the basic colors. Just Yarn only has 22 colors in solid. So, they probably do have these shades in the basic. But, they don't have as many in the Just Yarn. Maybe they will, you know, get more. So, anyway, I don't have the exact same colors in the two because I was using them to go together, but I'm not going to now because the texture of the two are different. The Just Yarn is a little bit not as soft as the basic yarn is a little bit softer. Okay? All right. Now, let's talk about what we did this week. I'm going to move these yarns down over here in this big pile of yarn I have over here. I can't help it. I love yarn. All right. Now, before we talk about our new patterns this week, I wanted to talk to you about the video that we did last week. Our This and That video was on the linked double crochet. And I wanted to talk about it because I had a lot of people asking me about it. And so that's kind of what I do with those This and That videos, is if people ask me questions about it, I jot them down and then I come back in and I try to do a video. Now, what we did with that is I asked you, have you ever tried the linked double crochet? Do you like the linked double crochet? You know, and so then I did a little tutorial on do you have to worry about dye lots on the You know what? Let me look at that real quick while you have that on your mind. I'm going to look see what it says. Yes. You need to make sure you get the same dye lots. That was a very good question. I didn't even answer that question. Let's backtrack just a little bit. With, actually there are dye lots on both of them. On the Premier Just Yarn and the Premier Basic, both of them, you need to make sure you get all of one dye lot when you order, okay? When you order from Premier, if you order them in a pack of 3, you're going to get all the same dye lot. Just FYI. Yes, you can wash and dry them. It says on both of them that you can wash and dry them in your washer and your dryer. Okay. All right, let's go back to the This and That question. Those are good questions, though. Thanks for asking those. When it comes to the linked double crochet, it's where you link it in as you're stitching your double crochets, and then you don't have any holes. And it's a really good technique to learn for bags and washcloths and things like that. And you can use it on any pattern that has you stitching rows of double crochet and you don't want those holes in between. And so if you want to know what it is, go to last week's This and That question. It'll be the first one in the playlist of This and That. And I do a little tutorial on it to show you exactly what it is and if it's good. And then it gives you a chance to try it out and see if you want to use it. Okay? That was our This and That question. Now, the two patterns that we did. First of all, we did the super duper ripply. Let me pull these over. This is our lots of ruffles coasters, and they work really nice if you want to put a candle on one, if you want to use them for coasters. This is one of my Pioneer Woman cups that I just love. I have a set of 4, and they're all different. There's a light blue, a teal, a yellow, and a red. The red one is actually my favorite. But anyway, they work really nice to fancy up if you're going to have a tea or you want to give a gift. But I did this with Mother's Day in mind, because you can take two, sort of ripple it up, and it looks so pretty inside a cup. Looks like a flower. Talk about a great gift. You can put that in a nice little gift. You can add a box of her favorite tea or whatever. If it's someone getting a new home, it's a nice housewarming, or someone going off to college. And these are just nice. And I made some in cotton, some in acrylic. And remember, when it comes to cotton, they will absorb, where acrylic will only protect the surface. Okay? So that was one that we did, our super duper, lots of ruffles coasters. And then we did this. This is, I made this for me. It's already been through the wash a couple of times. I had to test it out, you know. But this is our drying mat. It's stitched up using 2 strands of cotton, and it's our Scrap Happy project. So I got in my yarn stash and tried to use a bunch of my really bright colors. You notice there is a lot of yellow in this, because, you know, I do really love bright yellow. Okay, and the stitch that we used, I wanted there to be holes for air, because when you put you know, dishes and things on a drying mat, it's going to absorb the water, but you also want there to be some spots of air so that it's easier to dry. I wash mine about once a week when I'm doing, because I do towels weekly, and I usually do them on Tuesday today. And when I do my towels, I grab all my kitchen towels, and I will grab this as well. When I'm not using it, I just fold it up, put it underneath my sink with my towels. Now, you can use this as a towel because it's really thick and absorbent. And even though it has these holes, it'll still dry anything. The only thing I recommend is before you use it as a towel is that you put it through the laundry. Because what happens a lot of times with cotton is it has that sizing on it, and so it isn't very absorbent. And so if you throw it in with your towels before you use it, then lay it out to dry, or you can put it in the dryer. I put it in the dryer, but I did have to reshape it a little bit after I got it out of the dryer because it kind of shrunk up, but that's okay. They shrink up and then they kind of swell. It's really an interesting thing. I guess because it pulls in and shrinks up, but it makes it more absorbent once you put it through the wash. Okay, so those are our 2 projects that we did this week: the Scrap Happy drying mat and towel, and then the Lots of Ruffles coasters. And again, when I tell you about the patterns that we did, these are my patterns that I have written and designed, and I put a link underneath this video where you can find the video for it. If you want the written patterns or multiples or how to enlarge it or make it smaller, all the information, every video that I have a pattern tutorial on, underneath that video will be a link that goes to my blog. On that blog, you will find the complete pattern written out with lots of notes and information, as well as lots of pictures. So, but this towel can be used in the bathroom. Also, it could be used as a mat in front of your shower. The only thing I suggest is that you pick up one of those rubber backing things, or get some hot glue and put it on the back of it if you're going to use it on a tile floor, because you don't want to slip. Okay? I did put the multiples for this towel if you want to make it bigger, make it into a table runner or whatever. Okay, do I sell my patterns? I do. You can find all my patterns on Ravelry.com. Yep. And you can find that link, you'll also find that link to Ravelry on the blog where all my written patterns are. So if you find a pattern that you like and you want to see the written pattern, you can click that link that's underneath the video. And on that blog is also a link to where it's at on Ravelry if you want to look at it on Ravelry and purchase the pattern. What I do is I make it free to view on my blog. If you want an ad-free pattern that's a PDF file, you can purchase that through Ravelry.com. Okay? All right. I'm very particular about how do I put this? I don't have my stuff out at a lot of places because spam is on a rise, and I'm tired of it. I've had too many of my friends be victims of spam, and I'm tired of it. And so I do everything I can to protect my friends. And that's why when we do our giveaways, which she already, last week, the April giveaway already got her box. I'm super excited. I love it when it gets there quick. But anyway, that's why when we do a giveaway, I never, ever, ever tell you to put any of your personal information on a link anywhere. Anywhere. Okay? And then once you receive it, like our winner last week was Jenny, and once she received it, which she did, I will delete her email. Okay, that's just the way I do it. I do not keep your information. I don't give it to anybody. It is just a one-time thing. Once you receive, if you're the winner, once you receive it, I delete your email or your message on Facebook. Okay? It's just, I want to keep you guys safe. I don't want anybody spamming you guys. Okay? I don't know what you're referring to, the majority of the people. I have sold over 20,000 patterns, and the majority of my people don't say that. So you might want to talk to different people. Alrighty, so on that note, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week, and look forward to seeing my video on gardening sometime tomorrow, but I'm not telling you when because it's not finished yet. See you next week.